Greg Zielesch is serving a life sentence for a crime he didn't commit. In 2005, Officer Andrew Stevens was shot by Brent Villarovich, who admitted to shooting the officer. Greg Zielesch, however, denied having anything to do with it. And it was all focused on the media, by the media, that it was over a love triangle, which did not make a lot of sense to people who knew. The trial took place in 2008, and I was personally acquainted with a lot of these people. Several visits to my home, both prior to and after the shooting, made me question what was really going on opposed to what the media was saying. And I had them, the three of them, show up on my front porch after they had all met at the police station for investigation or interrogations, and meet on my front porch hours later and discuss what each one of them told the police. The DA did in fact put an enormous amount of energy twisting and manipulating the story. But Stephen Naratill's attorney was eventually disbarred in 2009 over another situation having to do with the same unethical practices. The witnesses they put on the stand, majority of them were not reliable. A lot of them were drug addicts, and they were led to be unbelievable, no matter if they were telling the truth at that point or not. One of the officers that they put on the stand, however, was quoted in the court documents as saying, "Oh, it's already open," when they had asked him to open a piece of evidence. In 1999, the Innocence Project did a study and found Jeff Reisig as one that they had used in the report, in particular, as accused of unethical practices by hiding exculpatory evidence. And I know him to do it in 2005 because two of his head DA investigators had accused him of it and quit just a couple years before retirement because they just did not believe in doing things his way. Eventually, they both had won their cases.
Can you tell me the importance of Doug Schamberger's testimony and how he changed his testimony later?
Doug Schamberger was asked to, they'd asked to put him on the stand, and he pleaded the fifth. Doug Schamberger also had over 70 charges, 33 cases, and 3 trials going on at the time of Greg's trial. And apparently a lot of those had to do with him stealing from Greg, and Greg reporting it to the sheriffs.
So what did he later testify that happened?
And towards the end of the trial, he had decided to go ahead and make a statement, and he wrote a letter to the judge. The judge had gotten it, and I was sitting in the courtroom when I witnessed the judge trying to talk him out of it for 15 to 20 minutes, trying to talk Schamberger out of giving a statement. I was kind of amazed at when he went ahead and gave a statement, and they pretty much decided that they weren't going to let the jury hear that.
And what was the statement?
That Becky Pena had told him that night, I guess on my porch, about there's no plot to hit hire.
Plot to hire.
A hit for hire. There we go. There was no hit for hire. There was that she had the gun. That Greg didn't give it to Brent, and basically admitted the truth. But the judge didn't feel the jury needed to hear that.
And what was Becky Pena's role in this?
Well, Becky Pena had robbed Brian McKee a couple months earlier before the shooting of Officer Stevens, and she had turned on 2 or 3 of her friends, and basically they went to prison, she didn't. And per that contract, this came about, and I personally believe it was because the DA did not want anybody knowing that the officer got killed because he let her out.
But what was Becky Pena's testimony?
That she sat in the car with Greg and Brent, and Greg wanted to hire Brent to shoot Greg.
And she told different stories at different points in time, correct?
Oh, various, the whole way through. Anybody and everybody had gotten different recounts from her, and I personally heard several stories.
Without her testimony, is there any chance that Greg would have been convicted?
No, that was the only evidence they had against him, really. When they brought Becky in for interrogation and sent evidence off after they found the gun, they had tested for people's prints, but never Becky's. They never tested for her prints on the gun.
And then tell me, did Brent Volovich testify during the trial?
I don't believe he did either.
Okay. And what has he said since about the role of Greg?
He has said how remorseful he is, that he was in a drug-induced state of mind, and that basically Becky had given him the gun, that she had stolen it from him and they were going to sell it for drugs.
So he's basically said that Greg had nothing to do with it?
Yes.
Okay.
Including in the psychological report of Brent's, where he told the psychologist Becky stole the gun and they were going to do something with it.
But he never said this during the trial?
No, the DA kept that out of the trial.
Okay, thank you.